Or just the once? Didn't Maru play Oliveira in something else? I thought Maru played Oliveira somewhere else, or maybe they just talked about playing. I thought they played, like... Obviously, they've played a day. I thought they played one more time, which is why I said 3 times. Top left, I believe Terran. Maybe it's the mental game you're trying to play. Hey, you lost a world championship to this guy. Now lose your team, your clan war. In the top left, our blue Terran from onside. It is Maru. It's wild to pick the world champ. Yeah, it kind of is, honestly. It kind of is. Especially when you already lost to Maru 0-2 early today. Our world champion, bottom right, Oliveira. Color refineries coming through, everything getting going, nothing too crazy just to be starting out. Okay, I really don't know what to expect. Is Oliveira going to macro it up? Is he going to try and, take Maru the distance? Is he going to do something a little bit cheeky? So far, not much of anything, just a barracks each. No second racks from either player either. Almost like it was a one-off. Hey, it's fair to say that it was a bit of a one-off for Oliveira to win the World Championship, wouldn't you say? I would say. For sure. Reaper on the way on both sides. Factory is coming up from Oliveira. We do have our SCVs producing through and just having the... And racks just coming online. Everything getting set for the moment as we get through these early stages. Just going to be seeing our Reaper continuing to produce as well. So far, so good. Just going to be having this moving up the right-hand side. Again, our Reaper coming through. Just high ground CC versus low ground CC. Maru not quite sure what's going on, so he's just going to be a little bit more safe with the command center positioning. Just making sure of that. And yeah, just we wait and see what's going to happen. For now, it's just very regular TVT opening. Nothing too crazy about this just yet. Just hop up, going to drop a couple grenades down. Oliveira gets the jump on Maru's Reaper, so now it's 2v1. And he can obviously micro to maintain that 2v1 advantage, and not going to be able to do too much else with it. So Maru just loses a Reaper early. The kind of thing that's fairly forgivable in this circumstance. Sometimes you lose your early Reaper and it could be game ending. That's absolutely not going to be the case here, as you can see. As the couple of Reapers in the Hellion come up, just going to hit that reactor a little bit. Depot taking a few shots. The Reaper and the Hellion still coming through. The Reaper taking some extra hits as well. And we still try and pick our way through this reactor for the moment. Reaper on the side does go down. Gonna be seeing this orbital flying out down to the low ground. So it's just gonna get over to this natural expansion again. A couple extra Marines and a Hellion were all popping. As our Hellions are still moving forward just a little bit. Obviously, we get to the low ground here, and altogether, Maru actually has an army and a slight worker lead, so he's putting that in his favor. Third CC from Oliveira is the sort of thing that eats up a lot of resources that doesn't obviously benefit either of those, so that's kind of part of the reasoning there, as our couple extra Marines still coming out. Marines are there. Hellion gets turned around. Still seeing that cloak coming up. Raven coming out. Hellion is going to get onto the SCV immediately. Just pick that off. Nicely done. And these couple Marines are going to get this Hellion as well. It's just going to pick that off too. We see another tank just going to come out down the low ground. So down we go. Journeying across here for the moment. Raven on both sides of the map. The cyclone gets a little lock on over on the edges, and Well, everything's kind of evening out, right? Work account, still a bit of an army supply lead to Maru, but he is behind on the 3rd CC, so that's going to be a slight advantage to Oliveira. And we're kind of in that kind of tug-of-war portion of this TVT. Well, one player will take a lead here, one player will take a lead there. For the moment, it doesn't feel like there's any significant advantage on either side, so we'll see if that changes. Maru is going to come pushing forward, but there's 2 tanks on the natural, so unless we get up into the main base, maybe there's going to be some options. Cyclone Marine's going to jump onto the orbital command here and just going to continue to make their way through this. Against impact continues on both sides. Tanks will unsiege from Oliveira. We're going to begin to move forward just a little bit further and push out towards an actual expansion. Oh, the 3rd base expansion, sorry. The Maru just says, cool, time for me to back away, time for me to just pull back slightly. Nothing too crazy needed here. Don't need to push a fight when it's not ready to be taken. He is getting the engineering base as well, so you see Maru investing into 1-1 upgrades, so that's going to be a bit of a difference on the board here as well. Marines, tanks, the Ravens, the Vikings all coming up. A couple of Vikings start to shoot and land onto that command center. Just some damage being dealt. Tanks knocked down, 1 Widow Mine just going to be seen still. The rest of these units continue to settle together. Locks onto the Raven here just for a moment or two, and we are going to be seeing our Stimpack still coming up on the side of Oliveira, so still bringing that on into play. Oliveira's army heads down towards the bottom right. Raven still chilling out over on the sides. Cyclone with the Marines coming across. Oliveira got kind of punished in that game too early against Maru, by the way, where I felt like he was in a pretty good position. Oh, every Matrix lands. The auto turrets come down on the side of Oliveira, but comparatively, when it comes to Marines, it does feel a bit better for Maru, but as Oliveira lands his units, it's going to be good, and he is going to hold out in the center. This felt like a good fight for Maru, but he just wasn't able to get on top of anything meaningful soon enough, and actually Oliveira comes out of this one looking golden. As you guys say, it was an earlier game today when Oliveira kind of got punished. He was in a good position, and he kind of chased too far forward, and then Maru was able to get a couple of picks, and then retake control of the map, basically. I imagine he would like to probably try and avoid that this time around again. There's another scan, comes out towards the bottom right side. It's coming down, just going to be seeing a few Vikings just off over on the edges. Just going to be seeing 1-1 upgrades, combat shield, all coming through. All of our Vikings continuing to gather together. Engineering base, you see, all on the way up. Just going to be seeing our medevacs loading up, and they're going to come around this top side. Oh, what a lock on. He's going to get a pretty much full medevac. Nice catch from the Cyclone. I mean, first of all, good denial of the drop, and then you get to actually kill the full drop as well. Nice way. I mean, Maru was obviously starting to be a little bit behind the supply, so this is a nice way to step back into it. Maru's also ahead on the 2-2 upgrade, so that's another advantage he can absolutely try to maintain here. Seeing our 2-2 coming up on either side, +1 vehicle weapons as well. Maru a little bit faster on each and every one of those upgrades. See a 4th base a little bit faster though from Oliveira, so Oliveira almost has some of the tech advantage, some of the eco advantages, while Maru has some of the slight tech advantages, but again, it's so close. Marines come over, Cyclone gets shoved away for the moment. Extra barracks coming around. The Vikings are just chilling out overhead. Gonna get some damage done. We're gonna go back and forward a little bit here. We are gonna see Oliveira getting shoved away just for a moment then. The reactor's still coming through. CC's about halfway up. It's gonna see a +3 attack upgrade. Starting from Maru, he's gonna look to maintain that upgrade lead for the moment. Skull Medevac is continuing out. 12 Marines in production. Cyclone gets rid of the Sense Tower over on the right side here. We are going to go dropping on the left, though. Maru going to make a bit of a dive forward. He wanted to drop the initial Marines to soak tank fire so the rest of the Marines could come up, but that didn't really work out just yet. The tank's shooting away. +3 continues up. We do see +2 vehicle weapons still coming in. A couple extra tanks and Marines all coming down. Marines are going to come forward. One medevac goes down. Tanks go down. Uh-oh. Big wave of Oliveira pushing through here. As the Marines continue to fight, tanks will get siege. Cyclones get set up as well. Going to be seeing the tanks all getting set once again. Just for a couple of moments. Tanks coming through the center. We do get sieged up. We do have our units of Maru just trying to hold this position off. Obviously, Oliveira with the presence on the map currently and the Viking count. So he has a little bit of air control. He's not really utilizing it by kind of going into Liberators or anything, but it's definitely one thing to watch for. Now it's going to be Oliveira to actually lift up his units. He's going to go for a bit of a big play, big drop in towards Maru's bases here. That's going to be the next step of this then, apparently. So on we go. See what we can do. Maru has his own kind of Marines dropping off. He's going to have other Marines stepping in. Does he have enough to get through the tanks quickly? That's the important part, right? He needs to get onto these tanks quickly enough that they don't do too much splash, and I think he's done just about that. He is going to get all these tanks, and that's a pretty massive pickoff, really. That is absolutely huge, so knocking that one down. Marines and tanks setting up just outside of this planetary fortress. Standing up, Maru's going to lose a couple of siege tanks himself. Oliveira still on the offensive. Moments away from his own 3-3, which would even out the upgrades for some of these Marine vs. Marine wars. But Maru's got an undefended base over here. Oliveira gets an instant snap kill on that. And a cancel on the base that was right next to it. Now Maru's going to push forward. He's got low HP Marines engaging in, but he does have the upgrade advantage. Oliveira loses a lot of supplies. He takes out a big bit of Maru's economy. He loses out on a huge chunk of his own army. As everything gathers together in the center again. Medevacs, Marines, and tanks. A couple of Marines already stemming up. The Marines of Oliveira coming back. Maru continues forward. The tanks coming through. Those few tanks already getting sieged. And, I mean, Maru really just has the tank count to keep going forward. Apparently, these Marines of Oliveira are not... I mean, I guess they're buying a little bit of time. Maru just continue to leapfrog the tanks through. We're actually going to be seeing Liberators from Oliveira, who maybe realizes that if Maru isn't high on the Marine count, he may not be able to answer that. There's just no way you can fight these tanks when they're sieged on Oliveira. If he's trying to buy time, sure, but he is bleeding out units, so you better be buying time for something good at the end of the day. Marines come up on either side. A couple of Vikings and tanks continuing through. The Ravens continue to build. Liberator will siege. You're going to push these siege tanks further back, so they're going to get shoved straight on out of here. Medevacs out down to the south, and just going to be having ourselves a couple Ravens, +3 vehicle weapons, all that good stuff. Still continuing in, as our Liberator siege is good to grab a siege tank there as well. Medivacs load up those Marines. Off to the sides we go. We do go pushing forward. Oliveira, Marines, tanks, Medivacs, all coming forward for the moment here as our tanks will siege. Oliveira is going to take a couple of shots initially, but then I don't know if Maru's protecting his tanks well enough. Now Oliveira is going to be able to siege up with more tanks. A couple matrices land, but only 2. And the tank count of Maru in the center is going to fall down. Now he's got Marines on the bottom side of this fight as well, but they're not going to do enough. Thanks to Oliveira, unsiege again, and we continue to push up to the upper left-hand side. Maru tries to get more tanks in position. Oliveira still sitting with a couple of libs. He doesn't have the Viking count, though. He's working on that now. He's going to deny this location of Maru. Maru, who's mining bottom left, is currently being denied, I believe, by those Liberators. A couple of Vikings had to split off to go deal with that. So that's where the libs are being kept busy. And that's Maru's biggest issue, is that Oliveira has base after base after base at the moment. Oliveira, man. I mean, what a statement. To lose 0-2 to Maru earlier. You know, we've started to kind of build a narrative that, man, you know, what happened in Katowice seems to really be more of a fluke. You know, especially when it came to Maru versus Oliveira specifically. But, yeah, this is Oliveira, I think, saying, no, give me my chance. Give me one more go. I'm not going to let this guy keep on beating me. And, I mean, it's not done yet, but it's an extremely close game, and I do much prefer it for Oliveira as he knocks down another base in the bottom corner. Onside Gaming might be on their way to the first loss of the season, and that is absolutely huge for the standings. Because, again, what could happen from this is if Onside lose this match, they can be caught and potentially, depending on map score, overtaken by Basilisk this week for the first place position. Liberator sieges, tanks begin to go down. Maru's losing a lot of army. His Liberator is kind of clutch, but he's not going to be able to save this base, is he? And he doesn't have the economy to keep on losing bases like this, so he's kind of forced to fight. The Marines are going to run forward. The tanks do get sieges. That a good enough call from Oliveira. He's getting a lot of the tanks of Maru. The Liberator sieges up during this. The base already went down. The SCVs are dropping. Maru has got an army supply lead. He's got Vikings to chase the Medivacs. He's got units chasing the tanks. Maru is going to have a massive counterattack with a huge amount of units compared to Oliveira, because Oliveira just lost everything on this push. Okay, Oliveira in full retreat mode. 40 army supply down. It's down to this. Maru must go right now. He must commit. He has to send it. He's lost too many bases, too much economy. Maru is good enough to know that. He knows there is no chilling out here. He knows there's no slowing this down or whatever else. He knows that right now this is a full send situation, and he's going to try and do exactly that. Liberator sieges up. Marines will get rid of that quickly. Vikings picking their way through Medivacs. This is it. Maru dives forward. Does he have enough? His own tanks aren't in range. The tanks of Oliveira are holding pretty strong. The advantage that Maru had, gone. Wiped out. Oliveira counterattacks through, pushes him back, and wins it for Dragon Kaiser Gaming. We called it an odd choice for the ace match, but it was the right one, as Dragon Kaiser get the win in 7 over Onside Gaming. Maru falls, and Dragon Kaiser are the first to defeat Onside Gaming this